学生们好. So today we're going to cover our last trig function, which is cosine. Learning target still the same, but now focusing on cosine for our last part. Same sentence, same language objective. And now we're going to learn about cosine and how we use it for solving for sides of triangles. You might be guessing it now. So the cosine function now focuses on the adjacent leg and the hypotenuse. Those are the only two pairs left for our three types of sides. Cosine function relates the reference angle theta with the adjacent leg and the hypotenuse using a fraction, just like the other two. Cosine of theta, if theta is our angle here, is equal to adjacent divided by hypotenuse. Again, we'll be using this later on to solve for missing sides. So again, if I have our adjacent side 6 and hypotenuse 10, with our angle in between is 53.1, then we should see that cosine of 53.1 is about 6 divided by 10. Let's check on our calculator if that's true. So on our decimals calculator, cosine is right here. Cosine 53.1, let's check that, is about 0.6. And if we take 6 divided by 10, it's exactly 0.6. So just a little bit off. Again, it's really hard to make it as accurate as possible here. Again, it's hard to make it super accurate here. This is probably the closest we can get. If we switch our angles and sides, let's say that our reference angle is down here now, 45.1. Its adjacent is 12 and 17 is the hypotenuse. So then our setup is cosine of 45.1 is equal to 12 divided by 17. Now on your own, check your calculator. Are those fractions and cosine 45.1 about the same? It should be. Again, very hard to make it 100% accurate. Take a quick practice here, just like we did for tangent and sine. Let's set up our cosine of the sides given and check on the calculator. Go ahead and pause here. So you should have cosine of 43.6 equal to 21 divided by 29. Checking on our calculator and rounding appropriately, we get both of them equal about 0.724. One last one here. Go ahead and pause and set up your cosine equation. So here we have cosine of 36 equal to 4 divided by 5. And on the calculator, we see that they're very close. Another fun fact, this triangle is called a 3-4-5 triangle. This comes from the fact that if I have a hypotenuse 5 and leg 4, then the other leg has to be 3. And we have 3, 4, 5. And this is representing ratio. So actually, other triangles also do the same thing. For example, 6, 8, 10. If I doubled the sides, it still has the same relationship. So let's do a quick checkpoint. What is cosine? And go ahead and use the sentence frame. Check in a moment. Go ahead and pause. So cosine function is an equation that relates the reference angle theta with the adjacent leg and the hypotenuse using a fraction. And we have cosine of theta equal to adjacent divided by hypotenuse. Are we starting to see how all three of them look very similar?